Hang tight, guys. Running a couple of minutes late, but we're getting all set up now. Almost there. Just setting up the last minute things here. We're going to get our friends on TikTok up as well. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 27 of The Dream is True. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you here. And we got a great show planned for today, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The reading today, particularly, I'm looking forward to doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started, and we begin, as we always do, with the fruit pyramid. You can see the fruit pyramid on a framed picture just over my head there as well. But I'm going to put it up here for you to see right now. And that image is called the fruit pyramid. And this is how I summoned the universe to guide me to my destiny of becoming an author. Wielding the fruit pyramid is a call for help when you are unaware of what kind of help it is that you need. For me, the call was answered by a powerful realization that suddenly manifested into reality when I finally found the mysterious dream that had been hidden from my true self for my whole life. I found my purpose to be a writer. Join me for more about the fruit pyramid and other behind-the-scenes bits from my writing journey each week here on The Dream is True. So this is episode 27, and we are working our way through reading Cassius Canics. So in conjunction with episode 27, we are also on chapter 27 of Cassius Canics. So I look forward to that later. Just a couple of things I want to show you again. So the graphics for the show, we've got two different graphics. So One is The Dream is True, is for my weekly newsletter and this live show that you're watching right now. And then the other one is for the podcast portion of the show. So after the show is finished, the entire video is posted on YouTube and on Substack, and the podcast is available on Audible and Apple Podcasts and wherever else you listen to podcasts. So that's I just wanted to show you guys that. Episode 27, here we go. Okay, I've got a couple of images to pop up for you because we're going to look at a recap of last week's reading from Cassius Canics. Last week's reading, I'm going to pop that up and I'm going to pop that up. So on last week's reading, I'm just showing you an image of a tree here. That is the image that was used in the original manuscript of Cassius Canics. I did not publish any images in the finished book, but when I was doing this on my own, for my own purpose, for my own manuscript, I had an image at the beginning of each chapter, and this is what I wanted to share with you here. So the image, this one for shaping chapter 26, was a big tree, which is which we went through last week when we did the reading. So here, without further ado, let me go through a bit of a recap from last week's reading of shaping. So in last week's chapter reading, Cassius Canics undergoes his first of 3 training sessions. He comes to realize that the aim of the training session challenge is to help ants transport a larva from one side of a door around the room to the other side of the door, where the queen awaits. The chapter is filled with symbolism and metaphors which directly relate to Cass discovering his destiny. The correlation is made between the journey of the ants and his own journey to destiny. A dream memory of the 3 trees further highlights this direct correlation. The number 3 is once again prominently highlighted in this chapter. The beginning of enlightenment is initiated in Cass's mind when he interprets the symbolism between the journey of the ants and his own. Orion confirms this to Cass as he completes his first training session. His destiny is now imminent. And we're going to get on to challenge number 2, training number 2. Later today, so I hope you will stick around for that reading. And right now, I'm just having a look. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on Substack and on TikTok, simultaneous streaming. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you, and this is episode 27 of The Dream is True. And we've got a really cool and exciting show for you today, so please stick around. This is the part of the show now where I go over my books with you all. Hello, everyone from TikTok and from Substack. Please let me know you're there. If you are, just say hi in the comments, or also let me know where you're from. That would be very cool for me as well. So basically, we're going to start with an overview of my books now. So back up here, we've got the image of Cassius Canics, my first novel. This is a sci-fi novel. It's a slow burn that turns into a raging fire and then teases for more. Buckle up. An ordinary man's life collapses after he is pursued by a powerful secret organization. The big question is, why him? He gradually comes to understand that he holds a mysterious dormant power within. When an unimaginable tragedy strikes his family, he defies the fundamental laws of the universe and travels through time to restore things back to normal. With cutting-edge technology, supernatural animals, and even time travel, experience a seemingly simple man's journey to destiny and greatness. All right, so that is Cassius Caniks. Next up, we have The Fishing Trip. The Fishing Trip is the second novel in the Cassius Caniks trilogy. And this book is a horror sci-fi novel. This book is a prequel to the first, and it ends where book one starts. Super cool character backstories will have you longing for more. Buckle up extra tight for this one. And next up, we've got Equilibrium, of course. Equilibrium is book 3 of the Cassius Caniks trilogy. It is a horror sci-fi novel. This book is a continuation of book 1 and ties in book 2's revelations for the finale. Will there be more to the story? Nothing can prepare you for Equilibrium. Brace yourself. And yeah, if you're over on Substack, please say hi in the comments. Let me know you're there. I'd love to hear from you. Cassius Caniks and the organization face their greatest threat yet, evil incarnate. An alien being named Dade is determined to rob Cassius of everything he's become. In a race against the destruction of the planet, he strives to restore balance. The fate of the world hangs on Cassius Caniks finding his true power, a mysterious power called Equilibrium. All right, and that is my third novel. So now on to my fourth novel is The Muse. The Muse is an occult horror novel. This book is inspired by 80s slasher movies, Stephen King horror, and American Psycho a little bit too. A depressed writer turns to a life of solitude as a trucker. He calls out for help on a Ouija board in a bid for inspiration. His call for help is answered by an ancient alien that promises genius but demands murder in return. As the body count climbs, only his twin sister can stop him before the Muse claims them both. But is it already too late? That's The Muse. Thanks to everyone on TikTok for the gifts. You're keeping me streaming on TikTok and doing these live shows simultaneously on TikTok because of that. So I really appreciate the interest, and I really appreciate the gifts and the support to help me keep on doing the show on TikTok. So thank you very much for that. Over on Substack, thank you so much for everyone who's been tuning in. Substack is opening a lot of platforms for this show, and I'm really super pumped and grateful for that. On to my next novel, Hard Copy. Hard Copy is a sci-fi alien invasion suspense thriller. This book is inspired by Gen X TV, 80s sci-fi, conspiracy theories, and modern AI. So this book is basically at a wild bush party in his teens. Ray Higgins was taken by aliens. Now in his 50s, separated and disappointed, he's assigned to mentor Tara, an AI robot. When the aliens return, Ray and Tara expose conspiracies, hidden horrors, and a lizard cult of deception in a gripping story of rediscovery and rebellion. Are you ready to question reality? And that is Hard Copy. Oh, almost spilled my tea. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. So happy to see you all. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you on episode 27 of The Dream is True. How cool is that? Yeah, all of my books, guys, if you just click the link in my bio anywhere on my website, on TikTok, on Substack, you'll get a link there. It's my Linktree link, and it has all of the links to everything. My books, my podcast, my live show, all my socials, my website, everything, yeah. So please, if you like this live, please click like, forward, support me on Substack by subscribing. And yeah, I really appreciate all of the gifts that I've been getting on TikTok as well. So thank you so much, TikTok. We've got that simultaneous feed on TikTok that's going to continue because you guys are really supporting me over there. So I really appreciate that. And on to the next part of the program. MK Schultz's books in progress? Well, yes, there are two. As you know, if you've followed me before, I have submitted the manuscript for my upcoming vampire novel to ECW Press. And that is I'm still standing by to hear what they have to say about that one. So that one is kind of held up there a little bit. So hopefully I can share that one with you guys really soon. It is a really wild ride. So I'm super excited to share that one with you. In the meantime, to keep busy on a new project, I have been continuing on my short story collection. So my short story collection is, so far I have almost 50,000 words complete so far for this book. I've written 13 short stories so far, and I just finished writing a story called Alien Interview. And next week I'm going to be starting the last short story of this collection, because I believe next week I'm going to have enough material for this book to move over to the editing phase, because basically this book has now served its purpose. I have been able to express myself adequately with the stories that I have written for this one. So it's pretty cool and exciting, and I can't wait to share that with you. There's going to be so much on that one. I mean, I have so many ideas for the publication of that one. I will be having images in that one for each short story for sure, because that's something I really am excited to work on, as well as just the overall presentation of it. The order of the stories is important to me. There's going to be some stories that have a little bit of explanation at the beginning of them for my readers. And I'm just overall very excited to share that one with you. Next up, my in-person book events. All right. So I have exciting news for that one. Here is Quality Creations. So this is a store in Prescott, Ontario. And I am super excited to be doing a book event there on Canada Day. So I am really pumped for that. So here's a little write-up from it. Are you looking for something fun to do on Canada Day? Come see me at Quality Creations in Prescott, Ontario. Here's the details. Meet MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. Canada Day, July 1st, 2026. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll be set up outside right there on a sidewalk. There's a couple of other vendors that are going to be with me, and I'm super excited to get to know them as well. 278 King Street West, Prescott, Ontario. So yeah, if you check the website for Prescott, there's other Canada Day events going on there. Lots of fun for the family. And yeah, if you're in the Prescott area, please come by and say hello. Come by to Quality Creations. And I would love to meet you and chat about my books and about writing and just the craft in general is super fun for me to chat with you all. So that is my upcoming book event. All right, what do we got going on? Yeah, once again, let me know on Substack. If you're listening, please say hi in the chat to let me know that you're there. We're coming up on the Bookish Spotlight. So this is the segment of the show where I go over the Bookish Spotlight, presenting the Bookish Spotlight. Okay, so each week, The Dream is True features a talented creative whose works leave a lasting mark in the bookish world. Today's Bookish Spotlight is Barry Finlay. So, welcome Barry Finlay. Thank you so much for doing the Bookish Spotlight on my show this week. I'm super excited to highlight you and your books. I'm going to start by going over your bio that you sent me. So, Barry Finlay is a fiction and nonfiction author. He is also a Canadian chartered professional accountant, and in his previous life, he had an extensive career in financial management. He retired in 2004 after 32 years with the Canadian federal government. Since retiring, he has divided his time between writing, working as a consultant on financial policy matters, travel, playing golf, climbing mountains, philanthropy, and enjoying his 3 grandchildren. In 2009, Barry got off the couch and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with his son, Chris. The experience of climbing Africa's highest mountain at the age of 60 with one of his sons and discovering the satisfaction of reaching a goal and giving others the opportunity to achieve theirs was a non-fiction book waiting to be written. It led to the inspirational Kilimanjaro and Beyond, a life-changing journey. His second book was a travel memoir called I Guess We Missed the Boat. He started writing thrillers and mysteries in 2014 with the fan favorite 5-book Marcy Kane thriller collection and is quickly gaining new fans with enigmatic former reporter Jake Scott in the 4-book Jake Scott mystery series. All right. His writing career came full circle in 2023 when he released the non-fiction Just Keep Climbing, inspirational stories for overcoming challenges and living life. The book is a companion piece to Kilimanjaro and Beyond as Barry reflects on his life journey since climbing the mountain. He supplements his story with those of 8 inspirational people who are dealing with their own challenges. That sounds really fun. Definitely going to have to check that one out. Barry has received multiple literary awards, and the most recent being an African Laureate Award for Just Keep Climbing. He has been featured in the author's show book, 50 Great Writers You Should Be Reading, and is a recipient of the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal for philanthropy. He lives in Ottawa, Canada with his wife of 56 years, Evelyn. And so, here is Kilimanjaro and Beyond, a life-changing journey. So this is the book that he wrote after climbing the mountain with his son, Chris. Barry has had 14 Barry has had a 14-year writing career, and his 14th book is scheduled for release in the fall of 2026. His writing has spanned fiction, non-fiction. It started with the climb of Africa's highest mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, in 2009 with his son, Chris. They collaborated on Kilimanjaro and Beyond, a life-changing journey. The book chronicles their journey up and down the mountain and how it affected their lives positively. Sounds super cool. Barry enjoyed the process so much that he wrote a humorous memoir about traveling with his in-laws, who are a bunch of characters. This book is called I Guess We Missed the Boat. Did they really miss the boat? I guess you would have to read the book to find out. Mysteries and thrillers had always been a big part of his reading, so Barry wanted to see if he could write fiction. That led to the popular thriller The Vanishing Wife, which has received over 800 Amazon reviews and a 4.2 rating. That's amazing. The book asks and answers the question of how far an ordinary man would go when his family is threatened. It also introduces Marcy Kane, a strong, independent, and divorced woman who continues to solve crimes in her own way through the next 4 books of Marcy Kane Thriller Collection. A Perilous Question, Remote Access, Never So Alone, and Burden of Darkness. All right, I'm going to show another one of Barry's books. This is the one we were talking about, Just Keep Climbing, Inspirational Stories for Overcoming Challenges and Living Life. Barry's writing came full circle when he wrote Just Keep Climbing in 2023. The book looks back at the impact of his climb of Mount Kilimanjaro and tells the stories of 8 people who are going through their own challenges. It describes the common denominators for meeting and beating difficulties in our lives. As one reader said, each chapter tells the stories from a wide range of folk who experienced grief, trauma, loss, and heartbreak, yet somehow not only made it through those experiences, but grew from them. My eyes filled with tears many times during the several chapters. Just Keep Climbing is also available in Polish. Right on. Okay, so next book is that I'm going to show here is called Searching for Truth. Next came the Jake Scott Mystery Series. Jake is a retired investigative reporter, but he is not your typical six-pack hero. In fact, he's about as ordinary as anyone can be, except for one difference. He keeps stumbling across murders that need solving. He works in conjunction with his homicide detective girlfriend, Danny Perez, in Ottawa, Canada. The first book in the series, Searching for Truth, has Jake looking into a man serving a jail term for a double homicide he may not have committed. Barry followed that book up with Guardians of Truth, The Secret Truth, and Shadows of Truth. When asked why each book has the word truth in the title, he said that he doesn't think there is a lot of truth going around these days, and it's his little reminder that it's important. That's very awesome. Next up, another book that we're going to show here is called The Vanishing Wife. And book 5 in the Jake Scott Mystery Series is coming this fall. Barry says it's too early to reveal the title, but there's a good chance it will have the word truth in it. All of Barry's books are available in paperback and ebook format from Amazon or by request from your favorite bookstore or library. The Vanishing Wife is also available in audiobook format. So thank you again to thank you again to Barry Finlay for being part of my bookish spotlight this week on episode 27 of The Dream is True. I'll just say a couple words about Barry. The last time I chatted with Barry was at the Robert Plant Book Fair on February 22nd. At this event, Barry and his wife Evelyn both visited my table and even bought a copy of Cassius Canics from me. I really appreciate their support and interest in my work. I'm so inspired by Barry and his extensive catalog of books. Please visit Barry's website to explore all that he has to offer. So thank you, Barry. Thank you so much for doing this. That's this week's Bookish Spotlight. All right, next up, I'm probably gonna go back to, let's go to this. Just putting some another playlist on. Hello everyone on TikTok and hello everyone on Substack. Please say hi in the comments. Let me know you're there. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you with episode 27 of my show, The Dream is True. So happy to have you here with me. On to movies, TV, music, and books. So yeah, movies, TV, music, and books are a massive influence on my writing. Each week I share with you what I watched, listened to, or read. Here's last week's consumption. Okay. Let's see. Movie 1. All right. Movie 1 is Over Your Dead Body. Stars Samara Weaving, Jason Segel, and Juliette Lewis. It gets 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. A dysfunctional married couple retreats to a secluded cabin to repair their relationship, but each secretly plots to murder the other. My take? Okay, so my take, this movie is just okay. I enjoyed the premise and the banter between Jason Segel and his on-screen wife. It was fun to see Juliette Lewis in a fairly violent role again. But the movie will not be one that is talked about long, in my prediction. Instead, it's probably just a movie that provided work and some income for the actors, and I'm okay with that. It is movies like this that fill the voids and deliver the ongoing fix that movie watchers endlessly crave. I recommend watching it on a night when too much time is being wasted searching for what to watch. It's about that good, I guess. Yeah. So just checking out, say hi to everyone who's joining me on TikTok and Substack. Thanks for joining me. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. I'm just going over the movies that I watched this past week. It's part of my writer's author journey. Next up. So yeah, because of Horror-Fi event that I went to 2 weekends ago, I'm just super excited about, I wanted to revisit some of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So yeah, last week I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first movie, starring Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, and Robert Englund. And it gets 7.4 out of IMDb, 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Teenager Nancy Thompson must uncover a dark truth concealed by her parents after she and her friends become targets of the spirit of a serial killer with a bladed glove in their dreams, in which, if they die, it kills them in real life. Okay, so here's my take. I've obviously watched this movie several times. I've seen it when I was quite young. I felt compelled to revisit this movie after meeting Lisa Wilcox and watching parts 4 and 5 in which she starred. This movie was made in 1984, the year that I call the greatest year from the greatest decade. I was thrilled to bask in the feelings and memories that this movie conjured in me. The music, the acting, and the story all reminded me of how fun it was to be alive in this era of movies. When Nancy is trying to stay awake at all costs, I found it so cool that Evil Dead is playing on her TV in the background. This was a shout out to Sam Raimi by Wes Craven in return for Sam displaying the movie poster for The Hills Have Eyes in The Evil Dead. How fun is that? And next up, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 last week as well. And yeah, my take on this one, this is one of those classic sequels that does not quite live up to the first, but still has enough of a solid base to continue a franchise in perpetuity. Freddy still has some great one-liners, which is fun. The new cast was good, but not as good as Heather Langenkamp's performance in the first. I was happy that her character Nancy was still part of the story, and I look forward to watching her return in part 3. All right, next up, what do we got, folks? Hello, everyone over on TikTok. Hello, everyone over on Substack. Please say hi in the comments. Please follow, forward, like, and subscribe. If you are wanting to support me in my writing journey, I really super appreciate it. Thank you to everyone on TikTok who has been giving me gifts. That really just supports me in my journey, and I super appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me on Substack. Super supportive, and I really appreciate it. Please comment in the chats and help me keep growing here. I love it. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, doing my episode 27 of The Dream is True each week here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you for continuing to join me on my journey. Next up, on the music front, I'm just following Iron Maiden, my favorite band. So I've always been inspired and motivated by heavy metal and rock music. My favorite band is Iron Maiden. When I first started my writing journey, Iron Maiden was always playing in the background. It still is now. I have always found the lyrics and sound of Maiden to be thought-provoking and inspirational. So I'm just here's the concerts they did last week, and then I got something cool. I'm going to pop up some of the concert footage images up on Substack for you to see. The Run for Your Lives tour news. Okay, so I'm following along with Maiden on their tour. Here's a list of concerts they did last week. So last week they did, on June 19th, they were at Clisson, France. On June 22nd, they were in Paris, France. And on June 24th, which was yesterday, they did a concert at Copenhagen in Denmark. Pretty fun. So just an interesting thing about the Paris show, on June 22nd, they were doing a concert movie. It was being filmed at this show, and so the entire standing room floor was designed as phone free. They used Yonder pouches to secure their phone. The phone stays with you, but it is locked in the pouch. When you leave the concert, they open the pouch for you with a magnetic device. If you were to be caught using a phone on the floor, you would be kicked out. So that's pretty cool. I think that's important at a concert, to not focus so much on your phone and trying to get good footage, because then you're missing out on the concert and the experience of living it in real time. Let's see just getting the music back going for you guys. And on to the books that I just finished a book last week that I'm going to highlight for you. So County Road 2400, A Midwest Noir by Saul Nudo. And this is my review of the book. It's now posted on Goodreads, Amazon, and BookBub, so you can check that out. This book is a fun, short read that can easily be consumed in one sitting. The pace is fast, and the adventure is relentless. The story is original and so well written. I enjoyed how the author slipped in brief observations by the characters during thought and dialogue scenes to paint a vivid image for the reader to experience and expand upon. Let's see. We should get to... let's go back to this. The story had me on the edge of my seat near the end, as I found myself cheering for the not-so-good protagonist, Tommy Cancio. I wanted him to have the drug money, but no spoilers on what actually happens. This is the 7th book that I have read by this author, and I always enjoy his writing style and interesting storytelling. I recommend adding Saul Nudo's books to your to-be-read pile. You won't be disappointed. that is super fun. Thank you, Saul Nudo. Next up, I just want to go through. Yeah, I just want to show you again. I'm super excited about how I have sold books now in 8 different countries, and I find that super fun. Here's a map that I've thrown up on the screen on Substack, if you're watching on Substack. So yeah, Canada, USA, UK, India, France, Germany, Italy, and Australia. I've sold books in all of those countries, and I'm super grateful for that. And actually this week, according to my Amazon analytics, I actually, someone in Germany has picked up a copy of my horror novel, The Muse. So thank you to the person in Germany who has done that. Writer's tip. Yeah, on to the writer's tip segment of the show. So for the writer's tip, I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you this book. One of my favorite books about art is the book Steal Like an Artist, 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative by Austin Kleon. Yeah, for all creatives out there, anyone who's an artist, a writer, anything like any kind of art, whether it be writing or painting or sculpting or whatever kind of art you do, music, whatever. This is a great companion for the artist. Super short book, but super fun and very popular, actually. Yeah, I'll put it back up because one of the inspirations for me in this book is how, by observing my own life, I use what happens to me as inspirational material for my stories. And over this past Father's Day, my daughter Marley took a selfie with me, and it reminded me of how I drew from my own life when I created Cassius Canix. So that was fun, and that's posted on Instagram if you want to go, and TikTok, I believe, if you want to go check that out. Maybe just Instagram. Check it out, and read some funny stuff there in the comments on that one. Next up, we've got what do we got? Next up is the writer's quirk. Yes. So for the writer's quirk, let's get into this. Since October of 2025, I started rewatching old TV shows that I watched when I was a child. It has been a surreal experience to combine early thoughts and perspective with my current life. Watching these old shows allows me to travel back in time to when life was simple, innocent, and filled with optimism, hope, and unjaded experiences. So, first show that I'm watching was, for the show I Dream of Jeannie, much of it was new to me because I was pre-kindergarten when I first remember watching this show. What managed to remain was more of how the show made me feel back then and how I got to connect those feelings with my older self. What fascinated me so much about this show was the seemingly unlimited power of Jeannie. This early influence played a part in the creation of Cassius Canix, no doubt. Next up, Gilligan's Island was a show I had memories of from mostly from kindergarten to maybe around grade 4, probably beyond then as well, but those memories proved to be a little stronger than the ones were for I Dream of Jeannie, as many scenes were familiar to me. It was once again the feeling that I was able to recapture that made the show such a comforting experience for me to revisit it at a time when the world was still innocent to me. I used this idea for my main character Ray in my sci-fi novel, Hard Copy. it was so amazing to actually feel like one of my characters as I rewatched this show in its entirety. Ray watched it to escape and to return to a time when he was unharmed by traumatic experiences. And so did I. Thanks to everyone for joining over on TikTok and on Substack. Please forward, like, subscribe, and comment. Also just this is MK Schultz here, horror sci-fi author, and each week I talk about my writing journey, and we're just into the movie section and TV section, but it's part of the writer's quirk, which is a little segment that I do each week. Last show that I'll touch on lastly was Three's Company. Really delivered a massive dose of much needed nostalgia for me in a time when I desperately needed it. The show allows you to visit the late 70s and early 80s through the lens of Jack, the girls, and the landlords of the apartment they live at. So all three of those shows helped me to heal in a time where I have suffered damage, and I am grateful for that. There are many more shows and movies from my childhood that I will continue to visit. It's a wonderful way to experience a form of time travel, and it also helps to spark some great story ideas. So that's my writer's quirk of the week. Something I wanted to touch on from last week. Last week was Bruce Campbell's birthday. Here's a picture I got to take with Bruce Campbell at Comic-Con when he was in Ottawa years back. I posted a happy birthday to Bruce on his Instagram and his X accounts. And that was really fun. I basically said, "Happy birthday, Bruce." So I said, you inspired me to become a writer by what you accomplished with your friends, Sam and Rob. You guys actually made a movie in high school that not only made it to theaters, but also became one of the biggest cult followings in movie history. It's the ultimate proof for me that the dream is true. So that was super inspiring. To be able to achieve that with your friends in high school. What a great goal and a great achievement, and just a super fun and inspiring story. So once again, happy birthday, Bruce, and hail to the King, baby. All right, on to food and health. So this is pretty exciting. As an author, it is important to keep my brain and body healthy so that I can continue to churn out horrific scenes of violence and thought-provoking and chilling sci-fi. Side projects around the house provide good mental health outlets for meditating, brainstorming, and thinking about stories. I am thrilled to announce that, I don't know if you followed me last couple of weeks, my groovy gazebo was destroyed by a 100-foot tall maple tree, and guess what? I announced that it was not going to be fixable, but I tackled it last week with my son, and together, the groovy gazebo lives. Check it out. It's back. So that was a super exciting, super fun accomplishment that I got to experience with my son. So thank you so much, Liam, for helping me with that. It's pretty rewarding. We high-fived each other when we were done, and it was just a lot of fun to see the groovy gazebo come back to life. So it's the little things, right? Super fun. Great. Okay, next up. Here's my cheat meals and other meals that I had last week. So there's like salmon balls with salad, garden salad with chicken, homemade turkey vegetable soup, and then barbecue turkey burgers and fries. What a great week of food. And there's more to come because tomorrow's Friday and I cannot wait for another cheat day. Woo! It's going to be awesome. Next up, what are we doing? We're doing the reading, guys. I'm super excited for this. Okay. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the reading. The live reading from Cassius Canix is going to be really cool because last week I had a listener, I had someone on TikTok make a comment or a suggestion to adjust the lighting during the reading. So we're going to try that right now. First off, we're going to kill the music. And this is going to set the mood. So right now, I'm going to try to get the lighting a little bit different for this reading. All right. All right, we're getting ready, guys. This is a big chapter, so I hope you're ready. Get ready to meet one of the characters of Cassius Canix in the trilogy. A very important character. Let us begin. Chapter 27, Catalyst. Cass was tired and was ready to relax and sit at a bar for a much-needed break, along with some food and beer. Mr. Canix, you have a phone call. It's Mr. Wayfinder, sir. Thank you, Charlie. Hello, Rock. Everything okay? Cass, my friend. Yes, everything is fine. But I need your input on something. What is it, Rock? Well, you see, Cass, your family was put into jeopardy, but no need to worry. They are safe, and have not been harmed. I saved them thanks to the alarm monitoring system. What the hell happened, Rock? It was Modes. He has a lot of money, and it seems that even from prison, he was able to send some hitmen to your house. Since he saw you and Marcus in the school that day, he is trying to cover all bases, even though he could not know the truth for certain. I have his low-life assassins in my custody now. They are in pretty rough shape. How are the kids and Mel? They are fine, Cass, unharmed, no worries. The engineers are staying with them 24/7 until security is bumped up. They are working on that, too. Damn that Modes. He will pay dearly for this. Whoa, Cass, man. What are they doing to you over there? Are you okay? Not sure yet, Rock. We'll have to see this through first to see where it all goes. Yeah, okay. You got a great attitude, Cass. Way to go. Now, for my dilemma, you see, Cass, I really fucked these guys up, and now they are unconscious in the back of my Hummer. I can do one of three things with them. Drop these bums off in a ditch, take them to the police, or option 3. Now, what say you? 3. Agreed, Cass. Don't worry about Modes making any further moves from jail either. We have a plan for him straight from Mr. O himself. You just need to complete your training, Cass, and don't worry about your family or anything else here, okay? I got your back, my friend. Thanks, Rock, my friend. I know that I can count on you. No worries, bud. Bye. Bye. Cass thought about contacting Melina, but thought best to focus on completing the training first to remain focused It would just make it harder on her as well, so best leave it as is. After all, he knew his family was in good hands. Kingston Maximum Security Prison. Officer John Malone, report 32614, modes. On Friday, June 21st at 12:08 p.m., during cafeteria time, prisoner 32614 was fatally attacked by prisoner 32615. An autopsy has confirmed the cause of death was a result of a 125 millimeter penetration into the aorta via an unknown weapon. The attacker was admitted to the prison only 3 hours prior to the attack and has since been diagnosed with schizophrenia following the attack. He has been transferred to the nearby mental institution for further assessment. End of report. While Cass enjoyed some food, drink, and conversation at the bar with Charlie, Orion received a call. Did you succeed? Yes, sir. Mission accomplished. Good work. And by now, are you out of the second location? Yes, sir. On my way out of the Kingston Psychiatric Hospital as we speak. Fantastic work, as usual. All right, that is a glimpse, actually. That is a glimpse into a character that does not get introduced fully until book 3. But that's kind of cool to see a glimpse of the assassin in book 1, also known as The Rage. Back at the bar, Charlie began closing up for the night. Mr. O wishes you to have a good night's sleep in the hotel room tonight, so you should make your way home soon so you are well rested. I will see you early in the morning for the second phase of your training. Oh, okay, thanks, Charlie. Guess I better finish this off and head to bed then, eh? Well, maybe one more first. Oh, 1 second here. This thing is acting up. There we go. I got that sorted out. All right, I lost my place now. I'm very sorry about this. Let's see. Yes, okay. Sure thing, Mr. Canix. Coming right up. Hey, Charlie, when all of this is done, do you think I will fully understand the nature of the organization? Sorry, sir, but that is not for me to know or to answer. I kind of figured that would be your answer. Cass finished off the remaining beer and made his way to the room. He slept well. The next morning, Cass was greeted by Charlie, and after a nourishing breakfast, he was escorted down to Mr. O. Arriving in the lobby, Cass couldn't help but feel a strange familiarity about Orion. Cassius Canix, are you ready for phase 2? Yes, sir. I think I am. Very well then, Orion said as he entered the code into his phone. The door with the image of the gun began to slowly slide open in dramatic fashion, just as the first door did. Cass entered. Once inside, he was surprised to witness a very different setting than the room with the ants. This room was very bright and filled with vegetation. Trees, shrubs, grass, a small pond with running water were the first things he noticed. In place of the cot from the first room, there was a hammock supported between two large trees. although a closer look revealed the hammock to be lined with the same material that was on the cot from the first room. With the door now shut, the 72-hour clock had already begun, he assumed. What would this turn out to be, he wondered. Step 1 was to begin exploring the room. It was much larger than the first, and took a bit of walking before he figured he covered it all. Suddenly, there was a loud sound from a crow's scream. Caw, caw, caw. He immediately thought of that time when his precious Lydia was a toddler. He was holding her in his arms, and they were looking out the window of the old townhouse down into the small sunken backyard. There was a crow, and Lydia pointed at it and spoke. She said, "Audwick, Audwick, Audwick." At first, he thought it sounded like she was trying to say Audric, making a W sound instead of pronouncing the R sound, which would be difficult for a child of her age. So from that day on, every time Cass saw a crow with Lydia, he called it Audric. And that was how they both would continue to refer to crows from then on to present. Years later, Cass wondered if what she really meant to say was Audwick, meaning a drink, because perhaps it looked to her as though the crow was taking a drink from a puddle of water. But the name Audric would stick nonetheless. He searched around for the bird, but couldn't see it. Maybe it was just coming from a speaker, he thought. But no. Seconds later, the large black crow, the largest black crow he had ever seen, could be seen from high up, majestically making its way down towards him. It glided to a graceful landing but 10 feet in front of him on the ground. "Hello, Audric. You are a big fellow, now aren't you?" He stared at Audric and felt a fast approaching state of heightened relaxation come over him. The bird comforted him, relaxed him, and made him feel more at ease. Then he became a little sad, thinking back to adolescence, when he so heartlessly killed all those birds with the shotgun. Why did he do that? How could he do that? Looking at this magnificent creature in Audric that now stood before him, he began to understand the purpose of the training. This training had to do with the second period of his growing. The gun represented the struggle of life, growing up and trying to establish who he was to become. This struggle would not be without missteps. This struggle also caused a bump or an interruption or sorts in the path he was to take. The path he would end up following was misguided and would take him off course in some ways, although it would not be completely misguided, as Melina and the kids would still arrive despite it. Since he realized that he would need more time to ponder on the specifics of the training, he decided a break would be beneficial, so he stopped to try out the hammock. It was extremely comfortable, and once again, Charlie brought in an amazing meal. In addition to the meal was a cup of nuts. He lay on his back, down in the hammock with the nuts. "Audric, come get some nuts, Audric." Cass was shocked that Audric flew in and landed at the foot of the hammock, staring intently at him. "Hi, Audric. Nice to see you." Cass thought in his mind about Audric responding with, "And it is also nice to see you too, Cassius." He threw a nut towards Audric, and he snatched it up and flew away with it. Then, suddenly, over a speaker, Cass could hear the voice of Orion. Cassius Canix, in the first phase, the ants of your childhood took part to teach you something. Now Audric is here to continue the teaching to the next level. To do this, you must try to communicate with him. He is very smart and can understand you, but in order to communicate, you need to develop a skill that you already possess, but have not used for a great while, although it is the same skill that willed you into all of this. Enjoy this part of the training, Cassius Canix. Communicate with Audric? Would not have guessed that one, he thought. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Just doing a live reading of Chapter 27 of Cassius Canix here on Episode 27 of The Dream is True. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. Every week we have this show on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, forward, and follow me and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. And I really appreciate the gifts that the people on TikTok have been giving me. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to stick around on TikTok because people are very encouraging by doing that. So I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone on Substack who is subscribing to The Dream is True. I also really super appreciate that. And on to continuing on the reading. Then he drifted off to sleep in the hammock, and before he knew it, morning had arrived. The next day was uneventful and quite boring, despite many attempts at communicating with Audric. As it turned out, no progress was made, and before he knew it, the night was already upon him. He had not even seen Audric for a while now, and the whole training seemed like it was going to be over before he knew it. That night he laid awake thinking about what Orion had said. How could he have willed all of this? What was the meaning of that? It just did not make any sense to him. Then, closing his eyes, he began to drift off. Soon, in a dream, Audric appeared again at the foot of the hammock. From within the dream, he stared at Cass for a short while and then began to speak. Cassius Canix, you need to know who you are. Cassius Canix, I am in your dream, and yet I am also communicating with you in your reality. Your power to will things is what is making this possible. The purpose of my being here with you is to help to bring you to the next step of your journey. Everyone has a destiny, Cassius Canix. However, yours is quite outstanding. Listen now as I speak a great truth. After you have completed the third phase of training, you will be taking the place of Orion as the most powerful leader the organization has ever seen. The organization is not what you think it is. There is much more to it, which will be made known to you in due time. It is your destiny that will bring about completion to the organization. Your power to will is a unique gift that you have always possessed, but only recently in your current time have brought to fruition. The catalyst that led to this fruition was your realization and never-ending feelings that constantly told you that you were meant for something else. Something different from what you have been doing. That change was inevitable. That change was your destiny. and it was you who at the appropriate time willed it to happen. The reason it took this long to occur was that along the way you had children that needed you. You sacrificed your needs for them until the time was right for you to fulfill your destiny. The time is now, Cassius Canix. The time is right now. Cass woke up, drenched in sweat. It was morning now, and unlike other dreams that disappeared at an exponential rate upon waking up, this one remained perfectly intact. He now knew and understood much more about his journey than ever. It started to become much clearer to him now. With the time almost expiring, he felt like the training was a success, and he was satisfied that it was now complete. But no sooner did he think this when Audric glided in for a smooth landing once again, this time right at the foot of him. Cass kneeled down to get closer to Audric, and as he did, something remarkable happened. Audric nodded his head and did what appeared to be a wink, and then flew off, all the while squawking his loud call repeatedly, caw, caw, caw. Phase 2 of the training was complete. The door opening revealed Orion, Cassius Canix. He bowed to Cass and then turned and left. Then Charlie entered and escorted him to the bar where he served him beer and a delectable meal of the Asian order. Mr. Canix, how is your training going? Quite well, Charlie. Quite well indeed. Cass felt different now. Something had changed with him during the course of the 2 training sessions. Now, looking forward to the final session, he knew it would be something even more amazing. And he looked forward to it, like a child trying to fall asleep as quickly as possible on Christmas Eve night in order to awake for the gifts that awaited. And that was chapter 27 of Cassius Canix. Thank you so much. For the live reading is complete for this week. And it looks like, oh my goodness, okay. Is that who I think it is? Okay, we have someone that just joined in. Oh my goodness, okay, Rage Wife. Okay, so, oh my goodness, Rage's wife. Okay, we had a glimpse of the Rage in this chapter. The Rage is mostly in books 2 and 3 especially, but literally the Rage did make kind of like a cameo appearance, and we just read that in chapter 27. So that was really cool. So that's the live reading. I'm just going to briefly put the lighting back to where we had it. 1 second. All right. Get that music back on. Should we? Yeah. A little bit, eh? A little bit in the background. So we're coming to the nearing end of this week's show. Okay, so winding down. This has been episode 27 of The Dream is True. I'm here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm on TikTok live, but also for the full experience, join me on Substack. That's where you'll see all of the cool images and everything that I'm able to put up using my system OBS, which streams over to Substack. So thanks. If you like what I'm doing here, please support me by liking, forwarding, and following me on Substack. Thanks so much. So yeah, the dream is true. So we're on to the final portion of the live. As an indie author, it is my dream to write full-time. Currently, I am living this dream. In order to sustain this dream, I depend on your support. Here's some great ways to support my writing journey so that I can continue to publish more books. Buy my ebooks, softcover books, and audiobooks online or at live in-person events. Post book reviews on Goodreads and Amazon. Support me on Ko-fi by buying me a coffee or tipping me. Support me on Substack through a paid subscription. Click the subscription button in my website or on the links in my bio. Support me on social media by liking, commenting, and sharing. I am most active on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and X. And lastly, subscribe to my podcast version of the show called The Dream is True, where you listen to podcasts. So yes, every week after this show is done, it's so cool. Substack allows me to do some really remarkable things that I did not know would be possible for me to do. So I post the video in its entirety on my YouTube channel directly following this show. Also on my Substack, it is also going to be posted there, the whole video. But then there's also a podcast version of the show that gets broadcasted to to Audible and also to Apple Podcasts and wherever else you listen to podcasts, because it's pretty cool what kind of a journey I've been on here, and it's been really fun to connect with everybody. And thank you all the people who drop in, like another new person. Thank you so much for dropping in today, Rage's wife. That is so nice of you. I've had so many cool people have dropped in and surprised me on this show, and it's super fun. I get in the live reading, I'm like in focus mode, so I had to just get through that. But every week we have a lot of fun on this show. It starts at about 7 o'clock and ends usually at about 8:15, but we're a little bit over the time now. But I'm gonna wind down now. So, just having a look at all of the comments. Thank you again for joining me, and we're going to get into the closure now. So each week we close out the show the same way, and it's no different this week. So in closing, I now recite the phrase that I first heard on the song Dream of Mirrors by Iron Maiden. It is a phrase that inspires me, and I want to share it with all of you. If you have a dream, don't say, "I hope my dream comes true one day." Instead, say this out loud every single day: "The dream is true." Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week. And there's lots to get posted now, so stay tuned for that. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.